But I do have a question, Alex. I've noticed there's someone wanted to know there is some issue with ADRs in terms like we're decentralized, we're permissionless, but there seems to be a problem like the little things like ADR numbers, right? Where sometimes people like they release an ADR like a 30 or 29 and someone else like thought they were ADR 29 and 30. And I was just wondering if there was any thought, this is a question really from the community. Was there any thought of how we can, maintain the same permissionless, ethos of anyone can contribute, but where we can structure it a little bit where things are a little bit more formalized so people aren't tripping on each other and there's no
Yeah.
confusion, if
I
that makes
think
sense.
I've been giving that a bit of thought. I think what we need is a separate um, proposal structure to ADRs. ADRs should already be much more polished, thought out, feedback received, and kind of like, yeah, more of a final product than an initial benchmarking of an idea. Um, so I guess that's where kind of the definitions start to fall through. If you see an ADR, ADR should be something you can develop and then toggle in, on or off. And then somebody comes with an ADR, calls it, some random number, and it's like a big set of ideas and kind of to dos. Whereas that's not what an ADR is. An ADR is this is exactly what we're doing. This is how it will look on the code. Nodes will adopt it. These are the mimirs that the nodes will use to enable it once it's shipped. Nodes, do you want devs to spend time on this or not? Vote. You see? That's an ADR. So in the past, kind of that was sufficient because it was kind of spearheaded by Nine Realms. But now that that ability has been fragmented across more parties are writing more ADRs, but then also more parties than that are not as qualified to write an ADR are writing things and calling them ADRs. So maybe, and this is kind of an open call, we should have a kind of a more of a um, kind of threads on Discord or something.
Like a proposal system where
Yes.
it has to get pre-approved before it goes to the stage where it can be considered an ADR.
No, and not approved. I'm not asking for permission to be granted. I'm asking for polish. So where the idea can be battle tested and kind of start to go through, and some ideas are just discarded right away, and some others note say by relay, I think this is interesting, create an ADR, and now somebody with more expertise or that person, if they're willing to go through it with Claude or something, goes and creates with the feedback that they've heard an actual well structured ADR. Um, so that's I think what we can do. Might take a month or two maybe to action. And I have to discuss it with others in the ecosystem, but something like that because uh, yeah, the ADR should be concise, technical, actionable, and already in the realm of something that nodes want to do and devs can do. Because there's another thing. Sometimes there's some things that we can't do. If you create some proposal of something that's really not viable or at least not with the resources we have, well, good idea, but it's not implementable as of today. It's part of the reason why I think my proposal of TCY was a little bit kind of easier to digest when I proposed it because of my inside of Maya, I knew what was programmable when I wrote that proposal. So it was kind of more ready to go and already baked. That's the baking we need in the ADR, that it's programmable. It's, according to what THORChain can do with the current code base, it's achievable. Not, no, I wouldn't say easy to do, but not difficult to do for sure. And already proposing, we're going to do this in this part of the code. If you read ADR 28 that I wrote also for the recovery, it says what we're doing on Bifrost, what we're doing to Thor node, what we're doing this or there. It's fine if you don't know about these things and you have an idea. Okay, bring it to some other forum where people that agree with your idea can help you polish it to get it to the form of an ADR. And now we can put a number to it and vote on it and do everything else. But we're just, from the dev side, we're juggling so many plates, and it's already difficult to land planes when they are well structured and concise. And now you're bringing like a behemoth that's all rough around the edges, and you want us to land that in a day. It's difficult. So I think that's the intent there, of how can we make a process maybe a little battleground, where the winners of the battleground now become ADRs, and now those ADRs get sent to be cooked.
I like that. And you know what? It kind of reminds me of what Chad did with Boone when it comes to when it came to the Monero chain client. He says, "Hey, I love that you want to work on XMR to chain client. These are the things that need to happen in order to be considered viable to go on THORChain." And Boone worked for months, developing using AI tools to help translate the Frost, TSS, and he met that checklist. Like he did a thing. So I like that idea, Aaluxx, where you keep the permissionlessness of it, but but it has also got to have some meat on the bones, where it's just not something that's nothing. And so there's meritocracy there, but yet at the same time, we're not gatekeeping
Yeah,
people out,
yeah.
right? We don't want that.
We don't want gatekeeping. I think a good analogy is, there's a difference between saying, "Oh, I think I'm in the mood of like some pasta," and an actual recipe of a pomodoro with chicken parm and all the steps of how to cook it and do it. Some people think the "I want pasta" is an ADR. That's not an ADR. That's a problem. You're coming to us with a problem. Come to us with a recipe, and that recipe, now we can get it, to notes, want us to cook this or not. And if yes, now we know what to do. But if you're just bringing that kind of raw intent or raw idea, we have so much things to do as it is. We can barely make ends meet with the hands we have. We're like, everybody's overwhelmed. And even if we had more devs, that's not going to help it, because as I said, there's a limited amount of things you can review. Or right now, or limiting factor is not code creation, it's reviewing and deploying. And you can only, so many people have the expertise to review and deploy, and that's 3 guys currently. So like, nobody else in the world knows how to review for THORChain. It's so technical
Good
and
point.
niche. So you're coming with more code that we don't have people to even review, and you're bringing it rough so that we don't even know what code to do to start with. So that's how, we need a place where those ideas become recipes, and now those recipes go into ADRs. That's great.
You know what? I'm gonna create an ADR to modify the ADR process. Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Brilliant. I love it. Well, this is, and I'm glad we're talking about this, because a lot of people were getting a little upset at one another, because I think they thought that, ADR numbers are being stolen or gatekept. And this is exactly what I thought it was. There's just so much going on. People are working so flipping hard that it's just such a scrambled mess of decentralization that there's just no structure here. And this is bound to happen. This will keep happening until we think of something like the lines that you were saying, Aaluxx. And so I'm glad we're having this conversation.
And something we can do, I think it's too early, and right now it's like such a small thing. I don't think we need to worry about to now, but probably at some point the ADRs numbers should be requested to nodes, and the nodes granted via make relay, in the sense that, I'm proposing this ADR. In summary, it's this. I would like to have the next number, and then as the first node that says yes, granted, just one node, you've got ADR 31. Great, we have it on chain. Now that ADR 31 belongs to this guy who made this recipe. Again, not ideas, not intentions, recipes. And now we go through. Right now, honestly, it's the devs. But guys, you don't even need an ADR to have issues and PRs on GitLab. Remember, ADR is not a gate to bring code to the code base. It's a guide of what nodes wish devs to do. So it's to understand what we should spend our time on or pay time on, because I have my devs do things that is not in the ADRs for the hell of it because I want some code to be done, and I'm willing to take the risk of doing the code and then not getting the code into the code base because nodes didn't want it. But I believe it enough that I go out, I do it. You don't need ADRs to do code. The ADRs is just a temp check of I am thinking about this before we go and spend paid time on it. Nodes, please tell me this is something you want me to do or not. And if they say no, I can still do it. You can do an ADR that didn't pass. It just is less likely that nodes will implement the code change. You see? So even if we decentralize the ADR process or not, it's irrelevant to the decentralization of THORChain and how code gets developed. You can go ahead and do issues and PRs right now.
I love it. I love it. I hope this really clears things up for people. I certainly learned a few things from this. So I'm really glad we had this conversation. Thank you. I know we are coming short on time. We've got about 14, 15 minutes left, something like this. Alex, I want to make sure I just give you the opportunity. Is there something on your mind that you want to talk about? Anything at all regarding either THORChain or Maya protocol? It doesn't matter if this is Thor's Day. We can call this Maya Day. I don't give a damn. Whatever you want to talk about, because people love hearing from you, buddy. So I just want to pass you the mic if there's anything at all that you want to talk about.
No, we're just chugging along, working a lot on the dev side to have as many chains, as many futures, as many things safe and working. I know Randy's working also. He's us off on contacting everybody under the sun and getting THORChain implemented below every rock of this beautiful earth. And I know everybody's working. So if you think we're doing a good job, let us know. If you think we can do better, let us know. And if you think you can work or help out, do so. We definitely have a lot of things to go around, and we need as much help and support. And the dev fund isn't that large. The dev fund of Chad, Marcel, and I, we have to still look how to make more things happen. So if you think you can contribute anyhow in any single way, do raise your hand, contact us, and we're happy to have you on, because we need devs, we need hands, we need funds, we need contacts, we need energy, content, everything, if we're to achieve the mission. So again, I like to say this every once in a while. I am not a dev. I don't know how to code one single line. Not even with Claude, I know how to code. I'm that useless. I've never vibe coded even. That I'm not smart enough, but I'm contributing because I believe in this. You can too. So many people say, "Oh, I'm not a dev." Doesn't matter. Nobody cares. You can still contribute so much. So it's just a call to action to be more active. You all have agency. Use it.